Hey Doc, I'm thinking about getting a new chute. You got any advice?
Well, generic rancher Ron, there's many things to consider when you're looking at getting a new chute. The first thing I'd consider is not using it for yourself like you're doing right now. The purpose of a cattle chute is to hold that animal in place so that we can do whatever procedures need to be done to the animal. This needs to be safe not only for the animal, but also for us as the operator. And we should also keep in mind some of the things that are important for beef quality assurance, specifically relating to cattle movement through the facility, as well as where we're putting the needle when we give an injection. Now, for safety for the animal, things that I would keep in mind are the adjustability of the chute. We want that chute to be adjustable so that we don't have it too narrow on the bottom for cows, but too wide on the bottom for calves. We also need to make sure that the sides that are solid are high enough the calf can't get their legs stuck through the side, or the cow as well. It's really difficult when you think about this for a cow-calf operation, because we have calves as small as 100 pounds going through the chute, and we may have bulls that are almost a ton going through this chute. So to have one that perfectly fits everything may be a little bit difficult, but the thing that I would recommend is asking one of your Sioux Nation contacts about what they've seen and what worked in different places and what didn't work in different places. Now, as far as safety for the operator, we want to make sure that the chute, especially if it's used, is in good working order, because what can happen is if it's not, if cattle break out or if something breaks, that can in turn hit the operators that are working around the chute and cause us to have some sort of an injury. And let's face it, saving a few $100s on a chute because it might not be in the best working condition really doesn't hold a candle to how expensive it's going to be to fix a broken arm or something worse. So with that in mind, I would recommend actually having, especially if it's a used chute, having somebody who welds take a look at all of the chute and make sure all the welds are still in good shape. If something needs to be replaced, get it replaced before you use it. Now, the last bit I want to talk about with safety is something that's also going to dovetail into operator use, and that is a palpation cage. Now, if you plan on using this chute to preg check cows with, either yourself or hiring a veterinarian to come in and preg check the cows, you want to make sure that there is a way to get in and out of that chute from behind the cow that's safe. This means that there needs to be a means to lock the animal that's behind the cow that's currently in the chute away from that cow. Now, this can be accomplished through a palpation door that locks shut. It can be accomplished through a tailgate that locks shut, but the key is it has to lock. If it doesn't have a way that locks, what can potentially happen is the next animal can come in, and the person who's behind that cow, even if they're only peekabooing behind by opening the side palpation door and sneaking their arm in, can end up getting crushed between the two cows, which can be a really significant injury. That's something that we can't afford to allow to happen. Another thing is make sure that that access behind the cow, be it just through the side or through a palpation door, is wide enough for a person to quickly get in and out between of. I've been in some chutes where the palpation door was very narrow, which did not allow that person to be able to get in and out quickly. If that cow would slip the head gate, then whoever is behind that cow would probably end up with a smashed shoulder. Now, for BQA, it's important that we have good access to the neck in order to be able to give our injections in the neck. This can either be in front of the head gate or behind the head gate. It can utilize a head extension or it cannot. But it's something to keep in mind because, let's face it, if you're going to use this chute a lot, you're going to give a lot of shots in it. You want to make sure that it's easy to get to that neck in order to be able to give those vaccinations appropriately. Now, once we've looked at safety and we've looked at being able to meet BQA, the last thing we really need to think about is some of the things that seem to be the first thing to think about. Should the chute be self-catch? Should it be a manual catch? Should it be a hydraulic chute? There's a lot of difference in price, especially between looking at a hydraulic chute versus a chute that doesn't have any hydraulics involved. So I think something you need to keep in mind is what's going to cash flow for your operation. It's really nice to have that brand new hydraulic chute that's top of the line, but does that really make sense if you've only got 150 cows? Now, albeit, you have to also consider labor. Do you have the labor to run a manual chute and push up the cattle effectively? Or do you need something that will help you save a person on the labor force because you don't have that labor available to help you use this chute to the best of its ability? Now keep in mind, you may not have to purchase a chute in order to be able to use a hydraulic chute. When working with the Sioux Nation veterinarian, we can bring a hydraulic chute out to your location for those big chute jobs, and you can use something at home that's not hydraulic for the individual animals you need to treat or any small groups you do on your own. So as I said before you go out and purchase a chute, feel free to reach out to us at Sioux Nation Ag Center. We have the privilege of going to a lot of different operations and seeing a lot of different chutes and how they work. This way, if you do it before you put down the money, we can help you determine which one's going to be the best fit for your operation. Because after all, making sure your capital investments fit what fits your operation's needs is an important way of feeding your bottom line. Now, one thing I might add is Sioux Nation is also a dealer for different types of cattle equipment. We're happy to help you with a price and information on these things that we are dealers for. However, if there's something that fits your needs better, we're very happy to show you what would be a good option that would fit those needs. So once again, feel free to reach out to us before you make any purchases. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.